Hello, my name's Lesley Atherton and this is a short piece of writing called Souvenir. In my hand I hold a friend. We've not known each other long, but there's something about this tiny piece of engineered metal that I love. I'm holding it so you can't quite see it, but can you guess what it is? Does this circular bowl shape offer any clues? I wonder if from that angle it appears to be a tiny decorative spoon. You could be excused for that thought, but you'd be wrong. I bought it from one of those tiny one-room museums, this one created inexplicably on the edge of a scruffy 1980s car park at the end of a trading estate in the middle of nowhere. I bought this object along with a drawing slate and a pencil proudly displaying the museum's logo in gold. My mystery souvenir is also part of the stationery range. It's a pencil sharpener, shaped like a medieval catapult. The adventurous could, I'm sure, pop air rifle pellets onto the catapult and see how they fly. But me, I don't even use it as a pencil sharpener all that much. I just like the fact that it could be one if I allowed it to be. And I like the way it looks. The embossed side panels bring to mind a pineapple, sharp and spiked and ready to defend itself. Hot pineapple oozing onto gammon steaks. Forgive me my distraction, but I always have a short attention span when hungry, and no amount of sentiment can cure that. It's unfortunate that it should be this way, but I always feel the pangs when I'm writing, sitting here thinking of life and thinking of things which matter. Yes, this catapult's quite wonderful. I'll describe it as a catapult for now, as I feel that pencil sharpener shaped like a catapult may just be a little too wordy. Just for now, I'll call it a catapult, though it will never be used as one while I still own it, unless you refer to those few occasions I've experimented by flicking a bit of blue tack at the computer's monitor just to see if it would stick. It didn't. The catapult's special, mainly because it lives on my desk. You have to be pretty special to live on this desk. The kitchen is my home's primary hub, but the desk comes a close second. It's almost 2 metres long, about 60 centimetres deep, and is made from 2-inch thick slabs of pine. I love this desk, and I love how it feels to sit here. I've a bird feeder on my window, plants in glazed pots, good speakers for listening to great music, and lots of wooden bits and bobs. I'm next to the kitchen so I can scavenge refreshments all too easily. Sometimes that's not such a great thing. I store my pens in wooden storage blocks, make my calls on a vintage-style wooden telephone, and gaze, awaiting inspiration from a bronze fox and 2 hares. All provide comfort, as do small keepsakes given by friends and family. But this catapult, I don't know why, but somehow it helps the flow of tasks which take place here. The fevered home administration, the paid work of spreadsheets and minutes and newsletter design, the homework help and the writing too. Somehow, I've said that word again, somehow this tiny replica weapon of war manages to bring peace. Somehow. Why? Because it brings to mind that day out at a tiny Scottish museum, of dressing up in Viking costume, of scrimping on dinner to buy gifts, a mini set of bagpipes, a tartan scarf, and the ubiquitous shortbread tin. And it recalls engineering triumphs and gives me a silly, simple joy because I own a pocket-sized metal moving object to mess about with. This catapult tells of colour and shape and the tactile joy of the bronzed metal, and tells of history too, of primitive but intelligent and experience-created designs. It also tells of a fun day within the 4 walls of that small educational and historic place. Perhaps we didn't read all the wall displays. Perhaps we didn't try on all the costumes or play fight with all the swords while simultaneously learning their usage, their name and their geographical distribution. Probably, though I hate to admit it, we left that building no wiser than when we entered, when it comes to knowledge of the Viking history of Scotland's far north. No matter. This little catapult reminds me, daily, hourly and minute by minute, of shared times and fun times, and reminds me of the pointlessness of trying to force the family's brains to better themselves, despite their holiday heads' protests. Learning is all very well, and most commendable, but perhaps it doesn't have to be a constant, intentional and contrived process. And perhaps we should take a little break on our holidays.